This sign is different. The left and right parking only and bike sign. We don't have that where I live. And that gives me time to norm my speed with other cars before making my lane change. That's different. And as a California tourist in Colorado, my job is to be a good driver. Hey guys, it's Jacqueline, and I'm visiting Colorado, so I'm driving around in an unfamiliar neighborhood, and we're gonna do a short video just to think about neighborhood driving in a neighborhood that you absolutely have never been in before. So as I'm driving, I'm gonna remember that in all states in the United States, you are allowed to make a right on red unless otherwise marked. I'm also going to remember that all states use the same traffic signs and symbols. So I'm going to be looking for my red and white signs telling me to stop. I'm going to be looking for yellow signs that show caution. And I'm going to be looking for my line markers, my white lines that show me my bike lanes or my turn lanes, and my yellow lines that show me when to be cautious when I'm making turns. I noticed that this neighborhood doesn't have any center lines dividing the lanes, but I shouldn't have too much of a problem staying on my side of the road. I'm just going to use the same good driving skills I use in any neighborhood. Let's see how it goes. It's fun to look at new neighborhoods. It's winter, and so one of the things I want to be thinking about right now is there aren't too many people out on the road, but of course I'm going to use my stop signs to always stop for pedestrians. And because I'm driving in a state that gets a lot of snow, their roads get a little bumpy in the winter. And so I'm going to be looking out for potholes and slush and other things that make driving different from where I usually drive, where it doesn't snow. And all along the road, I see street signs. I've got my speed limit, 30 miles an hour. I recognize those parking signs. They're the same as where I live. This sign is different. The left and right parking only and bike sign. We don't have that where I live, but I can tell it means parking on the right, bike lane on the left. Just like where I live, the traffic engineers use stripes to help us stay oriented. And I see a do not enter on the left, a no right turn, and a no left turn, and a guided right turn to continue on my road. So even though I've never driven in this neighborhood before, it's a completely different place to me. I'm just sort of using the same skills that I use at home to keep me safe. And I get to check out the blue bike path sign, which looks like it might lead me to the mountains. That's delightful. That's something we don't have where I live. And I like how they have the orange cone that highlights that there's a stop sign and a pole there. I think that because they get so much snow here, and that could mean dangerous driving conditions, that they really, really work hard to keep everybody safe. And as a California tourist in Colorado, my job is to be a good driver. I want to be a good ambassador for my state. I want to make sure that I follow all of the local driving rules. And as I pop out here, I see, of course, right turn only, and they really want to make sure I don't get confused. No left turn, one-way street sign, and a right turn only sign. This is a little different from where I live. There is a long approach before the merge, and that gives me time to norm my speed with other cars before making my lane change. That's different. The long merge white line, and of course I have to remember I don't get to cross a white line. I have to wait for the dots. And I'm just gonna go up here and explore another little neighborhood just to see if there's anything unusual that I can learn from driving in this different place. Looks like there's 2 right turn lanes up ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and get in the farthest right because, because I have a green arrow, I get to go, but of course then it turned red. And now I'm just gonna follow my safe right on red norms. I'm watching the cars to the left. If it looks like there's an opportunity, I'll creep up and make a right on red. But if not, I'm just gonna hang out here until it's safe. Again, because I'm unfamiliar with this area and the intersections, I don't really have a sense of how fast people are gonna come flying through this intersection. The cars on the left stopped, so I started thinking it might be my turn to make a right on red, but I'm noticing there's 2 turn lanes up ahead. So I just wanna give those cars a chance to get started. And then I will join in another dedicated lane, giving me a long entry before I officially merge onto the road. If I wanted to turn right, I would have to already be inside that long white line. So no matter how tempted I am to turn right on Templeton Gap Road, I don't get to, because I can never cross a solid white line. And up ahead we have flashing yellow, which always reminds us of caution. And it's a Monday, so I guess there could be some school kids around. It's about 3 o'clock. I'm gonna keep my eyes out. When I drive in my own community, of course, I know where the schools are. So I think about it as I'm driving around. If it's around school release time, I already have a sense of which route I would take and which route would be really busy. But here, I'm just using the street signs to give me a sense. So driving around a new neighborhood can be confusing, but if you use the same understanding of street signs, you'll have a sense of what the speed limit is, what the rules are, what you can do, and what you can't do. And the most important thing to remember when you're visiting a new place is to be a good guest and learn the road rules and drive safely in other people's neighborhoods. Thanks for stopping in to learn today about what it's like to drive in a completely new neighborhood and just figure it out using all the street signs. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.